No, this is not a rage bait. I actually mean it. Call of Duty Modern Warfare from 2019 is, besides my personal opinion, objectively speaking, one of the worst Call of Duties to ever release. If you spare me a couple of minutes, I'm gonna shortly explain to you why. Trust me, if you like fast-paced shooters, you do not want another Call of Duty like this ever again. Now for those who have no clue about anything at all, here's what happened. Recently, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 has been reduced to around $5 on Steam, which of course drew a lot of attention, which ultimately raised up the player count. It's a great opportunity actually, especially for those who haven't played this game at all. A high quality game cheaper than a McDonald's burger that comes with a campaign, multiplayer and co-op. But what's the actual problem with that? Well, besides that this game was actually the beginning of the end of this franchise, there ain't really much behind it. Now don't get me wrong, this game is absolutely amazing in terms of animations, graphics and sound design at least. I clearly remember watching gameplay of this game for the very first time. It instantly gave me a buzz. I was super excited to see that they finally introduced a new engine and finally going back to Modern Warfare after Call of Duty Ghosts. Yes, I was an actual COD fan back in the day. I literally grew up with this franchise. And I mean it. My first COD was Call of Duty Finest Hour on these square televisions or whatever you call them. That's how long I've been playing these games. But eventually, I quit Call of Duty completely. And the reason for that was exactly Modern Warfare. Because besides the technical improvements, as I said, like graphics, audio and animations, everything else about this game is absolute dog shit. The campaign was a generic story about good and bad. It had one of the best level designs though, like trying to sneak away from a village as a kid or the iconic clean house mission. But I'm definitely not paying $80 for a 5-hour campaign. The major issues were in the multiplayer. Attention, I start counting. Bad and complicated UI, terrible progression, insanely fast TTK, bad performance, the worst maps in the entire franchise, wide open, minimum cover, strange layouts, and what did he call them?
Our maps are a little bit more porous, and we want those players to have a safe place to take their time, to learn how to turn and move and then shoot, put those pieces together, and then they see someone and be like, oh, okay, now I can do this. So
in other words, optimized camping spots that punishes everyone who's walking over the map and playing the objective. Bad footstep audio. No red dots on a minimap when firing with a non-suppressed rifle. Not to mention the fact that this game was actually supposed to release without the minimap at all. Unless you got an UAV, of course. And before anybody now starts shouting something about let the devs try something new or skill issue. Nice you mentioning that, since this game doesn't feature any skill gap at all. Why is the core community now supposed to shut up? Why should they just accept the fact that the whole game, the identity of this franchise, is being redesigned for new people that don't give a fuck at all? Imagine you're in a community, building up something together, putting money and time in it, give actual feedback, just to be screwed over by the devs and the publisher.
But that approach that you're describing there isn't going to come at the expense of the hardcore players, right?
Are
you serious?
That's not the plan, right? But we want to make sure that we don't want someone who's how to say this, lower skill to have a bad experience. We want someone who's higher skill to have a bad experience.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare threw away all its principles that formed the identity of its franchise, leaving their community in the dirt to get more new players that are easier to manipulate to buy something from the shop. They traded trust with control. Instead of people playing the game actually plays with you. And to make sure that it actually worked, they introduced engaged optimized matchmaking, a system that rewards bad players and people who buy from the shop with a false experience and punishes the skilled or those who play more than 3 hours per week. I ain't gonna go into detail for that. It's a sick system. Now, what you need to know is that all the terrible changes and decisions in the recent years have all started with this game. The fucked up matchmaking was introduced introduced in Modern Warfare. The greedy shop with crossovers started here. The heavy focus on Warzone and the neglection of the multiplayer, the campaign and the co-op with zombies have all started here. And my biggest concern now with the rising players of Modern Warfare, it's gonna give Infinity Ward and Activision the illusion that this game and its features shall be the standard for future Call of Duties. Black Ops 7 is now the 7th game of this new COD era that started with Modern Warfare. Over these 7 years, there have been improvements about all the negative points that started with Modern Warfare. And now, with Modern Warfare having a larger player base than the newest Black Ops 7 will undo, since Activision only cares about numbers, everything that this community fought for 7 years. Black Ops 7 is for many not a banger, but compared with Modern Warfare, it has a better matchmaking, better progression, better maps, better TTK, and overall a higher skill gap that rewards players that play frequently for fun, and not for how much they'd likely pay more in the future. Now if you wanna play, or are still playing this game, go on, do it. Who the fuck am I to prevent you from playing? If you're enjoying the game, go on. I'm not here to persuade you to quit. My job is showing you the past and predict the future. For those who don't know me and hear me for the first time, without the intention of being arrogant or anything, I predicted the entire experience of Battlefield 6 with the major decisions and its consequences. And everything I said, everything I predicted, every scenarios that I showed, they have all become true. And now I'm here to tell you that no matter how good the trailers are, how cinematic, how grounded they might look, do not get this game, especially not without playing the alpha or beta, if you didn't like Modern Warfare 2019. Trust me, gameplay wise, the next title, Modern Warfare 4, will be more or less an exact copy of MW 2019. A low skill gap, a matchmaking straight out of hell, cringe skins, bad maps, and nothing but torture for skilled or long-time fans. I'm not a fortune teller, I just want you to be careful. I actually care more for your wallet than those people do. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for listening, I hope you enjoyed the ride, and I see you in the next video.